thrilled to have back on the Rich Eisen Show one of my favorites, Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer, class of 2002. How are you, Jim?
Good. How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing fine. How was yesterday for you? Because you couldn't be there last year, and now we're showing the radio audience you teeing it off. It leaked a little left, but that's okay, Jim. That's all right.
Oh, it was a blast. I mean, even though the weather wasn't quite the way we wanted it, but it's Buffalo, but the thing is, everybody showed up, everybody enjoyed themselves, and the bottom line for us is we raised a lot of money for charity. So that's the key. And
Thurman was there. Who else was there, Jim?
Well, Dan Marino. Well, you're starting to ask me. Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Mr. Beldine from Saved by the Bell, and a whole bunch of Buffalo Bill players. And I mean, right now as I sit here and try to think who all was there, like Bruce and Darryl and Thurman and Tasker, and I try to, up here I do a lot of Buffalo Bill players. Even though Marino has been to my tournament, I think out of 29 years I've done, I think he's been here 25 years. I mean, Roethlisberger always comes his first year. He's missed it in a while. Always been there. Next year, I'm going to be calling these guys because I'm going to see maybe getting the class of 1983 to my 30th anniversary. So I'll be throwing out some calls here in the next week or two for them to put it on their schedule. But what a great turnout.
So you're throwing it out to Eisen, O'Brien? Is that what you're talking about, the quarterback class of 83, Jim?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Let me see. There's one more, a couple more.
Yeah, there's Todd Blackledge, right? There's
me, Marino, and Elway, Blackledge, O'Brien, and Tony Eason.
There you go.
They have not heard from me yet, but they will, and I think that'd be really cool. So we'll see.
Can any of them play for the Buffalo Bills right now, Jim? What do you think?
Well, now you're putting me on the spot, huh? Oh, it's funny. Right after I left all the Bills players, they were all on the tee box teeing off and everything, and I walked over to meet with the media, and as I was walking up, we had this football toss. You had to throw it through a hole about 15 yards away, something like that, 20 yards away. And they threw it, said, "Here, Jim." And they threw it to my hands. As I kept walking, perfect stride, just threw it, went right through. I said, "I'm done. That's enough." And I walked right over and talked to the guy. So, no, I don't think anybody's going to.
No, I know. Hey, Jim, I mean, when Rex Ryan came to New York for the Jets, he was a perfect fit for a franchise that needed some bravado, needed some braggadociousness from the podium, needed some infusion of confidence in the fan base. And it appears that Rex Ryan, it's a perfect fit in Western New York right now. And I'd love to give you the floor on how you feel it's working with Rex there so far, first blush, before, obviously even any training camp hits.
Well, I'm excited. I think everybody is. And, the fans want excitement. They want some enthusiasm, and they definitely got that when Rex came in. He said all the right things. He's saying all the right things and said all the right things to get everybody excited. I think what that probably put me over the edge as far as me being really excited now was Thurman Thomas was over in the locker room after the first meeting that Rex had with the team. And the response the players had when they came out of the meeting room to Thurman was just overwhelming, how everybody was so excited that they're looking forward to getting to work. And how Thurman said he just didn't hear that from one person. He heard, he said, from 10, 15, 20 guys that were coming out, how enthusiastic Rex was, how excited he was getting it going. And plus some of the additions he made to the football team, I think is going to be huge also. But for me also, even further on than that, is I went to practice last Friday, and I get to watch them in action. Even though it was not pads, you almost would think it was to a certain point, because the guys, the way they were running around, the way they were getting excited about each and every route that they would run, the DBs, the way they were breaking on the ball, the way that everything was not like going through the motions. It was like what you would want to see as a coach, what you'd want to see as a former player, looking at a team that you hope would be excited and ready to play. And it brought back memories of when I played, how Marv Levy used to really get us going, how he wanted to show self-motivated players. Even though Rex is a little more outgoing, his personality is a little bit different, they both understand what practice is all about, and you want to get quality, you don't want quantity. And what he showed me and what I saw on the football field last Friday, I'm excited about. The key to everything now is what quarterback's going to step up. You talk about Max Castle, you talk about E.J. Manuel, and I forget what the
Tyrod Taylor, who a lot of people say, Jim, he's got a shot here.
There's no doubt. I watched him, and I was like, wow, he's impressive, and they like him too. So it's not just a two-man battle now. It's three. But the bottom line is, guys, we have to make sure that that's one position that we have to solidify that, doesn't have to go in and win all the games. He doesn't have to be Tom Brady, but with the defense that we have and some of the weapons we have in offense, just the old cliche, manage the game. Don't make those crucial turnovers and really put your mind into the game. When do I need to take a chance to the long one? When do I need on third down at 3 or 4 to get the first down and be able to move the chains and to be able to milk that clock a little bit more? Last year, we were so bad at that. Last year, we took so many chances on down and distances where we should have went for first down, where we were going for the long ball too many times. It threw us out of the game, and all of a sudden the other team gets the ball, they march down the field, they take all the time off the clock. Now we are lost. So I just hope that they're able to put themselves, their mind into the football game in certain situations when you have to hold on to it and when you have to go for the big play.
I'm on the phone with Jim Kelly a day after the Jim Kelly 29th Annual Celebrity Golf Classic raised funds for Kelly for Kids Foundation. And you mentioned Tom Brady's name, and I've spoken to Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Jim, about the issue of air in the footballs, and there are some, Aikman and Terry Bradshaw leap to mind, saying that something had to be going on for Brady to know, and then there are others say that there's not much of a big deal. Where do you stand on this subject of air in the footballs and the 4-game suspension that's been handed down to Tom Brady, Jim?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think there is not a lot of difference in the football. As a matter of fact, Andrea Kramer had me on her show, and she handed me 2 footballs. One was deflated, one wasn't, but to the amount I guess Tom had is that. And I really, to be honest with you, didn't know much of it unless I stood there and squeezed it. And then I did. I mean, I picked the one that was deflated, but to get it and to throw with it, there's not a lot of difference. But when I played in Buffalo, the hard footballs were, I hated it. But the thing is, from what I remember, and I asked my equipment manager, Woody, I said, did they take them right for the boxes when we played, did they? And he goes, yes, they did. And I go, I thought so, because I never was able to massage it. I was never able to make it to where I wanted it. But you know what? There's no doubt about it, and I said this before, what equipment manager in the NFL will do something to a football without telling their star quarterback? There's nobody, especially a guy like Tom Brady, who's one of the best to ever play the game. You tell me his equipment manager is going to do something to the football without him knowing it? I don't think so. But Tom's one of the greatest to ever play the game, and he didn't need to do it. But unfortunately, you try to do something sneaky, sooner or later you're going to get caught, and they got caught.
Jim Kelly joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. So how much money did you raise yesterday, Jim?
I think we probably raised over somewhere around $350,000 throughout the whole weekend, which is, for Buffalo, that's huge. And the bottom line is when you look, we do a luncheon at the Buffalo Bills' favorite restaurant, and my Ilio DePaula's. We have a luncheon over there every time, and we are able to hear some of the recipients how, $5,000 to them, $20,000 to these people, how much it means to them. And when you see them tearing up, which I've seen before, how that amount of money will make a difference in their foundation, then you understand why you're doing it. And it makes you feel good that we're able to give back and make sure that we make somebody's tomorrow better by what we're doing as a foundation today.
And how you feeling, Jim?
I feel pretty good. I was supposed to have an MRI recently, and hopefully I'm going to get it taken care of. But overall, Rich, I feel pretty good. I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm ready for today, and see what happens.
Yeah, I saw like a media tour you did with your daughter. It was just awesome, Jim. Everybody just loved seeing that stuff. And your family was side of the stage during the draft when you got a standing ovation. It's just awesome to see, Jim. And the fact that you're out and about and you're talking about it, you are the man, Jim Kelly. Well,
Rich, the thing is, when I look at the whole thing and the people that come up to me and say what an inspiration I've been to them, I want people to know that keeps me fighting. That keeps me wanting to keep fighting more and more for each thing. And when I had my daughter wrote the book Kelly Tough, and I just urge anybody out there to pick it up. It's on Barnes & Noble, and it's at Amazon. It's called Kelly Tough. It's written by my 19-year-old daughter. And she amazed me every single step of the way. And really, to make a long story short, she went through having a little brother named Hunter, who she watched suffer throughout his whole life until he passed away at the age of 8 years old. And how I brought her up, even though she was a girl, she was going to be a tough Kelly girl, whether she, on the basketball court, whether she fell down, get up, you'll be all right. And then all of a sudden, how she thought she was going to lose the two men of her life. Now she's going to lose her daddy to cancer, and how she had to stay strong, not only for myself, but for her mother and for her sister, and how she just really made me sit there and thank the good Lord every day that I had a daughter that, every day he dreams about. And I am so blessed to have the family support that I have.
Great to hear that, Jim. As always, you have plans to go to Canton this year?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be there. Bill Polian, another Buffalo Bill, is going in, and he was here. As a matter of fact, we honored him at the banquet. Chris Berman was there, and a whole bunch of other guys were there I didn't even mention, but we honored Bill Polian as a Buffalo Bill going into the class of 2015 into the Hall of Fame. And what a great man. There's not many like him.
Nobody circles the wagons, right? Quite like
you got that,
you
right.
guys. Jim, I'll look forward to seeing you in Canton in August.
Sounds good, buddy. And then I look forward to seeing you at my golf tournament next year.
Okay. Is that I can't imagine there's any more of an official invite than what I just received, Jim.
No, you just got it. As a matter of fact, you're welcome to anything I have because you are the man. I love listening to you. You're a great person.
Thank you, Jim. Right back at you.
All right, Rich, you take care of yourself. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.
You got it. That's Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.